Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think that we'd be back for another one of these videos before the Switch 2 launched, but there is some news with regards to how you will transfer your account from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2. Namely, it is all tied to your account. So in the case of somebody like myself, I already sold my Switch 1 months ago as soon as the Switch 2 was announced. And I was worried because everything on the Nintendo Direct, the Nintendo website, and everything kind of points to this idea that you have to have your Switch 1 to transfer all of your stuff to the Switch 2. That's not actually the case. So thankfully, all of your game purchases are already just tied to your Nintendo account, meaning that no matter what, if you just log into your account on your Switch 2, all of your game library should show up. But what about save files? Well, if you didn't already do it with your Switch 1, you can actually upload your save files to the cloud, and at that point, you'll just be able to download those saves from the cloud onto the Switch 2. Believe it or not, there are clickbait videos online that are saying this is the opposite, that you have to own a Switch 1 in order to transfer your account. But as usual, that's just all clickbait nonsense that they just theorized and say, hey, you know what? Let me just say this as if I know what I'm talking about. The only reason I'm even bringing this up is because people ended up digging up this information on the Nintendo website, and I always only ever trust official news rather than people on YouTube. Another thing you guys might have noticed is the other day, the Switch 1 had an upgrade to the firmware that ended up changing the Nintendo eShop to now actually show Switch 2 games and Switch 2 game upgrades, which are reasonably priced. The Zelda Tears of the Kingdom upgrade, for example, is $10 US, whereas the Kirby one is $20, which makes more sense because the Kirby game comes with like a huge slew of downloadable content versus Tears of the Kingdom, which is more so just a visual upgrade, also works with that weird Nintendo app thing. And another thing that's really important to talk about is the fact that Microsoft is going to be raising their prices across the board for the Xbox consoles, controllers, and games. It's actually beginning, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening, whether we like it or not. Something that a lot of people didn't already know is the fact that GTA 6 is kind of like the game that always sets the standard price for AAA games. GTA 5 did it years ago, and every other company since then has copied their price point. So what a lot of AAA developers are kind of expecting and waiting on was GTA 6 to set the new price point. But Nintendo beat them to the punch. And unfortunately, snake-ass companies like Microsoft just see the amount of profit that Nintendo is making off of these pre-orders and decides to increase their price. Video games have always been an expensive hobby, but arguably are so much cheaper and more accessible than they ever have been before. And when you top that with the fact that just the cost of living is constantly going up because of the pandemic and all of that, lies and fear-mongering, it makes sense that the other companies would follow suit. My issue is that I don't think Microsoft has any right increasing their price because Microsoft sucks ass. Say what you will about Game Pass, but generally speaking, the games that they have on offer that are like Xbox exclusive or made by the Microsoft teams that are under their belt, like Bethesda, id Software and stuff, it's all just the same regurgitated nonsense. Don't get me wrong, Doom looks incredible, and everyone's very positive towards the Oblivion remaster, but I just find it strange that Microsoft is increasing the price despite the fact that they don't have any reason to do it yet. Who knows, maybe that new Perfect Dark game is going to be great, maybe they have the new Halo coming that's actually good this time, I don't know. But okay, now at the end of this video, I wanted to talk about some of my predictions, because in my last video I mentioned that we would more than likely see the Mario Kart bundle end in the fall, and then after that we would possibly see a Pokemon bundle going into 2026. I also theorized that after that bundle we would possibly see a Mario game bundle with a new Mario game. And since then, I am actually feeling a lot more confident with that theory because I didn't know the new Mario movie comes out next year. I think that it's safe to say Nintendo is going absolutely big mode with their marketing, and to have a movie tied in with the new Mario game would just be an insane way of getting sales. And then in 2027, we have the live-action Zelda movie. Yes, live action. I don't know how that's going to work, but hopefully they can make it not suck. But the point being is I'm expecting the next big Zelda game to be in 2027. Anyways, if there's anything else worth talking about before the full launch of the console, of course, I'll end up having another quick video talking about it. The difference between me and everybody else is I'm not talking your guys' ear off for 45 minutes. I also base my facts on reality, and I'm very, very crystal clear with you guys when it's my own personal theories.